Table and stand box opening. When you're opening the box, you want to use a pair of scissors or a knife. If you don't have a knife, you can always find the seam where the plastic strap is joined and turn it upside down, grab the edge, and it'll open just like that. Inside the box, you'll find a large foot pedal, your left and right table leg stand. They come pre-assembled already. All you have to do is loosen this in order to be able to raise and lower the table. This plate is the lower plate that's gonna hold the foot pedal, and this plate is the plate that's gonna hold the right leg and the left leg together. And finally, inside the little tray, you'll find 4 legs with the screws. These are the rails that are going to be used to secure the tray to the table. This is all the hardware to put the table together. The screws, the foot pedal pivots, and anchors. You're going to attach this to the foot pedal for the potentiometer lever. And this is a smaller foot pedal. So you can either choose the big foot pedal or the small one. And then this is your tray. And underneath all this, the tabletop is right here. Assembling the table stand. Take your belt and put it away. We're not going to need that. We're going to use a number 2 Phillips screwdriver or the larger Phillips screwdriver as well for the big bolts, an adjustable wrench, a 10mm and a 14mm. And we're going to work right on the surface of the table. So we're going to take our accessory bag and I'm just going to pour it right into my little tray. First things first, we're going to take the table stand and put the legs first. So you want to make sure that this nut is all the way down. And I'm going to place my finger inside the hole. And as I'm screwing this in, I'm going to let the head of the screw touch my finger. And that's how I know how deep to go. You don't want to push it all the way in. So with my finger blocking the hole, I'm going to take the table leg and just push it or screw it in until it's flush against the surface. Once it's flush against the surface, then I can tighten this screw. And I'm going to use my adjustable wrench to do that. Make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing with the other legs. Perfect. Now for the other side. Once you have the table feet installed, it's time to put the bracket to hold both tables together, or to hold both halves together. So this is going to be the right side. We're going to take this and put it right on these 2 screws on the bottom, just like this. Make sure that when you're tightening it, that the edge of the bracket is level to the edge of the table. Now comes the bottom bracket. You're going to place it upside down right on top of the feet. You're going to locate the 2 brackets and 2 bolts, and the bracket is going to go inside You're gonna hold it down like this. So while you're holding it, you're gonna place this right on top of it and put the bolt in. So you wanna have the table 3 inches, the bracket 3 inches from the edge of the table. Once it's at 3 inches, you can tighten it down, and then I'll do it with the tool as well. Now let's do this side. Using the 10mm nut and bolts, we're going to attach the L bracket to the foot pedal that controls your potentiometer. Just make it level with this edge. Use the number 2 Phillips screwdriver head to tighten it down. Just like that. We're going to be using our foot pedal brackets, 2 for this one and 2 for this one. They're going to go just like this. And it's easy. If you ever get one of these little things like that, you can just bend it out of the way, okay? And we're gonna go here and we'll install this one first. This one's gonna go just like this. Okay, now we got to install this one. For the larger foot pedal, we'll do the same procedure. We're going to use the 4th slit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the same slit that we did here, and place the first bracket. And we're just loosely placing it for now. And we'll do the second one on the first slit. Just like that. Make sure they move freely, and that's it. We're ready to go to the top side. And we're going to adjust the height of the table legs. We're going to go 29 inches from the foot, from right under the foot to the top of the table. So using my tape measure, I'm going to place it underneath the foot and go 29 inches. But first I have to loosen this screw and take it out. Make sure it goes into the second hole, and we're just going to hand tighten it for now. And grab another bolt. You'll take your second bolt and you'll put it on the second hole as well. Now raise it until it reaches 29 inches, and then you can tighten it down. Now you can use your tool to tighten it down. We're going to use one of our brackets with the curvature facing the inside like this. It's going to go just like this, and we're going to put it in these 2 holes. With the bracket on the inside, we're going to find the hole and go ahead and put the screws in there. And tighten with your tool, either the adjustable wrench or your number 3 Phillips. Now we do the other side. We'll start by removing the first screw, raising it up, and putting the screw back in the second hole. And right now we're just finger tightening. Take your other bolt and put it on the second hole as well. Now we'll measure 29 inches. from the base of the foot to the top, and that's exactly 29 right there, and we'll tighten it down. And we'll finish off by putting the bracket with the curvature facing inside. And finishing off with the tool. Do not over tighten these. That concludes the table stand assembly. Now we're going to attach the table stand to the bottom of the table. The front of the table has the ruler, so I'm just going to flip it over and face it towards me. And I'm using the table base or the cardboard base so that I don't scratch up the table. So remember, this is the front of the table. So when we place our stand on the table, we're going to turn it with the pedals facing us like this. When mounting the table stand to the table, we're going to measure 5 1/4 inches from the edge of the table to the stand. And make sure that you're on the side that has the thread stand hole. We're going to start with that side first. We're going to go to 5 1/4, 5 1/4 inches from this side, and 3 inches or 3 1/4 from the front. 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Once you have that, go ahead and tighten that screw down with your number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Now, to make sure that the table stand is parallel to the edge of the table, we're going to just come down here and measure another 5 1/4, just like the same, and secure that side with the self-tapping wood screw. Do not over tighten these screws. To attach the tray, we're going to take our rails and the 6 small wood screws, just set them aside right there. We'll take the rails and place them right on the drawer, like this. And we're going to turn the drawer upside down. The handle will be facing the front of the table. Remember, this is the front of the table, and we're going to be approximately just 1/4 inch from the edge. We'll make sure that this is nice and flush on both sides and make the table or make the drawer about 1/4 inch. And we can just center it right on the table, whatever's left over. I'm going to start by putting this screw first. Once I have that, I'll measure, and that's 2 1/4, so I'll make sure that this side is also 2 1/4 right there, and I can tighten down that side. And the drawer should open and close freely. So for the motor box, if you find the edge of the tape or the seal, you can just flip it upside down and just peel it right off. If you don't have a box cutter, just makes it really easy to open them. I will use my cutter to cut the tape. In the motor box, you're going to find, this is the potentiometer foot pedal bracket. This is what's going to connect the foot pedal to the motor. In here we have our control unit. This is the motor control unit. You have the bolts to secure the motor to the table, and the motor and the potentiometer assembly. These are all in one. We have the electric motor, and this is your potentiometer. This bracket is going to go connected to the potentiometer and the other end to your foot pedal. We're going to take our 3 lag bolts, tilt the table forward, and put it in these 3 holes. And now we can lay this back down. Now you're going to take your 3 rubber bushings and put them right over the bolts. Now take your motor and place it over the bolts. I'm going to take this cover off so you can see. But you want the pulley to be in line with the slit, so you may have to move this forward a little bit so that they fall in line with each other. And you can keep this cover off until you're ready to place the belt. It's a keyhole system, so you just twist it and it'll pop right off. Right now, let's get this thing connected. Take the control box and you're going to place it about 1/4 inch from the side and about 1/4 inch from the edge of the table stand. It's really not important exactly where you put it, just as long as you put it on this side. And don't over tighten it, just get it nice and snug. It doesn't really matter where you put this box, but since here, I'm just going to put it at 2 3/4. You can make it 3, 2, it doesn't matter, just as long as it's somewhere within this area here. So I'm just going to make sure that it's the same distance, 2 3/4. And don't over tighten these screws, just have them snug, perfect. How to connect the cables to the control box. You're going to start by the potentiometer cable. It's a 4-pin male and it's going to go into this 4-pin female right here. Make sure that the clip is facing the little edge of the clip here. You're going to hear that little clipping noise, and once you have that, you can squeeze this over both of them. Just like that. Now from the motor, you'll have a serial port. That's going to go first. Make sure you screw it in. And finally, it's a straight 4-pin that's going to go right in here. And notice there are 2 flat sides to these pins. 2 flat sides. So the flat sides are going to correspond with these flat sides. And these clips are going to go here. So with both flat sides on the flat sides, it's going to go in and snap into place. Make sure you hear 2 clicks, just like that. For cable management, we're going to use the little wire clamps that came with the machine. So this, I'm going to clamp the fat one first, making sure that this is on the inside, this is on the outside, right next to the motor. Okay, and to secure them, now that this one's secure, I'm going to use the zip tie. These did not come in the kit, so you're going to have to get these on your own and just secure those to the fat cable. You want to give yourself a little bit of play with the cable so that they're not too tight. Just like that. Now we're going to put one in the corner. Now trim the edges of your zip ties. For the speed control bar, loosen this nut here and separate the bars. We're gonna put them back together in a little bit, but right now we need them to be separated. So you can just hold everything to the side, just like this. You're gonna take one of the rods that we separated and take the nut and washer out and place that from the outside in. You might wanna back it off a little bit, get the washer in there. She's a little tricky to get in, but once you get it, it's good. Just like that. And now I'm gonna use my adjustable wrench to tighten it down. Now, all the adjustments that we've made on the table can be changed depending on the user. So this is just a standard way of assembling it, but depending on how tall you are or how short, you can customize this to your liking. Now we're gonna take this and put it on the foot pedal. So with the lower bar, we're gonna do the same thing from the outside in and put the washer first and then the bottom one. Now take your coupler and slide it through the first bar and then slide it through the next one. Just like this. And then just tighten it down right in the middle. When you press the foot pedal, it's going to make the potentiometer move up and down. Using the motor control unit. First thing you want to do is turn it on with the red switch on the right hand side. Should you need to change the direction of your machine the way the motor is running, you would hit the P and the plus at the same time and go 1 for forward motion. Remember to hit S for save when you're done with the calibration. Once it's on, you might get an ER01 error message. This simply means that there is an accessory sensor that is not installed on this motor. It is not needed for your machine, therefore we don't need to install it. So just ignore that message. Your machine is going to operate just fine without it. If you want to lower the speed, you're going to hit the minus button. If you want to increase the speed, you'll hit the plus button.